Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I have today new customer, new truck, 2005 Toyota Tundra. It's a four-wheel drive with 250,000 miles on the clock. You will never guess that. It's a so-called cream puff, as we love to joke. Cream puff Tundra 250. Brand new winter tires. The owner is heading to Lake Tahoe for skiing. They are expecting 9 feet of snow there apparently. And he loves his truck. I believe it's a one owner. And he does a lot of preventative maintenance. When he approached me here and said he has this truck and he would like me to replace the lower ball joints on the front, and he said he wants to bring his own parts. I was thinking, I'm not interested in it. Then he said he wants to bring his Toyota parts, OEM, which he will just buy from elsewhere, not from the local dealer. And I was like, oh, okay, I like his style, I like he keeps it OEM, I will do exception, and I will take this job from him, and maybe we will do more maintenance for him in the future. Here you can hopefully see that entire kit on the table, so both sides. Here are the quarter pins, these 2 lower ball joint nuts, and 8 bolts. So I did already that replacement on the other side. I started here because it's harder to film. Here you can see that entire new part with the new bolts, new nut, new cotter pins. Everything is here. Only this nut was not supplied, but the cotter pin is brand new. So let's go and try. Since I have some kind of time, let's go and try and film it. For those who are always saying in the comments, hey, can you do some how-to repairs? You never do any. Here, this will be the only thing. If you look at it here, there might be very slight leaks in that rack and pinion. Anything else so far I discovered that was only very tiny seepage from valve cover gaskets. Other than that, he really does take care of it with OEM parts, and it is cream puff. So what do you say? You want to see how I replace these lower ball joint assemblies? Once again, I show it probably already with the ordering numbers. Here is the one replaced. It even nicely say R as the right hand side, left hand side, meaning that's for the driver's side. Okay, let's do it. And for those who think I can film whatever I want, as many how-to videos I want, well, the repair, to schedule the repair and do the repair, that's the one thing. But to film it, I will guesstimate that when you start filming something, the whole procedure takes either double or 3 times longer. So the moment I am set up right now, I cannot film these things. Here you see the cotter pin pulled out with these pliers. Now I will be able to remove this nut. The size of the nut, you need a 24mm socket for that. Boom, and it's off. Just to set up this next angle, so you can see it, that I'm removing another cotter pin right here on that outer tie rod end nut. Just to set up that took approximately 5 minutes to get that camcorder when I want it, so you can see what I'm doing. So unless I changed completely to having my own shop, doing only YouTube projects, it's impossible to make a living and film everything. For this nut, you need the socket number 19. Now I will bring my separator here very carefully apply there without damaging that boot on that outer tie rod, because we are not replacing that, so you don't want to damage it. I will apply it carefully on top of that tie rod and start applying pressure on this. But I will remove you from there, because when these give, it pops and I don't want to damage my gear. People use the power tools instead of using the ratchet. There are many ways to skin the cat, right? Did you hear that? And that's why you want to be careful around these babies. I did the other side, so I will not need this fella anymore. It can go back in toolbox, and we can focus on that lower ball joint itself. For that lower ball joint, there is a different puller. So again, you watch the angle, you place your tool correctly there and start applying pressure on it. It's always good to take your time when you're putting it correctly in the place. The previous one, the one on the other side, it helped to tap on that lower ball joint assembly. We didn't need it this time. Did you see it? That's how they fall apart or separate. And as you are expecting, the last part of this removal is removing these 17mm bolts. So I have again my impact wrench. 1, 2, let it fall, no problem. 3, 4. In that entire time when you're doing so, you don't want to damage the CV axle boot or something. So just consciously work on it. Be careful when you are dropping something down. Just make sure nothing hits some sharp object and so on, because we are hired to improve this vehicle and not to damage it. I always like to clean stuff before putting new parts, because there was for sure accumulation of dust, dirt, so I have a garbage can underneath it. Here is our new part, beauty, isn't it? And this job, since the vehicle is not modified with some lifts and so on, it's relatively easy. Look at it. Even a weak person like me can actually just lift this entire part and start aligning my knuckle with that lower ball joint assembly right here. These new bolts, that set of 8 bolts is coming with some red stuff on it, but it looks to me too small, too shallow amount of it in those threads. So guess what? I will never skip putting on these bolts the blue thread locker. No way I will skip that. You put a bunch of it on and start getting those bolts in. It shouldn't be difficult to catch the top part. I'm probably in your way, sorry for that, but as I said, I need also some access to my work. Yeah, it's already caught, and I keep continuing with remaining 3 bolts, applying on all of them blue thread locker. As I continue with the hand only, now I have all 4 of them hand tight, I don't want to leave it in this position for too long because we have that thread locker and I want to torque it ASAP. However, now the whole part will keep turning this way if I don't connect at least partially this tie rod end. So I will put that nut back. I will be dealing with it later, but just to stop that knuckle from turning there and back, I'm putting the tie rod end temporarily in. I'm grabbing my torque wrench and we are going to torque it crisscross to 80 Newton meters. Crisscross meaning I don't want to be just on one side, so look at that. And that tie rod end, it's helping me to slow the rotation. The lower ball joint nut could be there or not, it's fine. Did you hear the clicking? I may be talking too much. Just want to explain it to whoever never did that. Click, click. I think that 80 Newton meters is 65 foot-pounds of torque. Now I'm coming with that brand new nut which was supplied with this entire purchase. That's that 24 monster. Gigantic 24. Where is the socket? Right here. I'm not sure if I have any torque on this one for you, but obviously tight. And I'm looking where is that opening to match it with the nut for that cotter pin, and it's actually facing the same way. And voila, I see the nut is nicely aligned and I can install the cotter pin. Look at that, that little baby. So I will do it the way it was. It means it's from back towards the front. Now I grab my pliers. It's always recommended not to reuse the cotter pins. As we said, these nuts weren't supplied by the owner. We are reusing them, but it should be fine. The nut looked completely fine. There was only surface rust, so that should work pretty good. And again, I need to get that crown nut aligned with that hole in that tie rod end. I'm almost there, tiny bit more, and again I can install that brand new cotter pin. Here we go. Let's see if I have it clear perfectly. Yeah, you guys brought me good luck. Everything is going perfectly smooth and we are basically almost done. We didn't damage anything, this rubber boot, right? When we were removing it, we didn't rip it, so this is fantastic. Everything is nicely torqued and basically the replacement is finished. And because the owner did this as a very preventative maintenance, there wasn't play. When you grab the wheels, there was no play whatsoever. He's just browsing all these forums and people talk about these failing so much. So he decided to change them as a preventative. I'm trying to say, I don't think he will need any alignment because there wasn't any play in it. This truck will be rolling down the street straight as it came today. So I hope you like it. If you find it helpful, give it a thumb up, please. And be subscribed. I have way more coming your way very soon. Thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.